Hi, sisters. So, I recently came across a post on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that really caught my attention. As a mom, as a married mom of three, it definitely caught my attention. Before I tell you why, I want to share the post with you. So, this woman named Inez Stepman, she posted this here. Just going to read it quickly. The post says, "Quote: This is by no means universal, so don't yell at me. But I am starting to suspect that behind many of the complaints that dad doesn't help enough with the baby are women who are extremely finicky and inflexible about what caring for the baby looks like." So that's what she says. And then she follows it up with another post. Here's that second one. She says, quote, "Anyway, shout out to my husband for taking care of the baby at 7 a.m. because I had a headache." That's it. That's the post, right? So why would it catch my attention? Because one, um, like in social media, I feel like you always see uplifting, encouraging, motivating messages that are praising women and giving them their flowers, showing gratitude to them all the time, whether it's for being a mother, for being a friend, a sister, for being a parent, whatever it is, or even just being for being a woman. Like sometimes I feel like we're just being praised for being a woman. I mean, hey, there's a Woman of the Year award, right? Like, so at this point, we're being praised just for being a woman, and nothing wrong with that. I have no issues with, a woman receiving praise. We deserve it, right? Especially if we're working hard. There's nothing wrong with that at all. However, I feel like I rarely ever see a post that is encouraging men or motivating them or even showing them praise or gratitude for being a great father or a great friend or parent, whatever it is. Like, I rarely ever see that. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm not on social media enough, but I just feel like I rarely see these things on whether it's TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. I really see this. So when I saw this one, which seems to be uplifting and showing gratitude to men to her husband for being a good father or for taking care of his child, right? I was like, yes, finally, right? But then what really caught my attention also is the comment section. Okay, I read the comments and y'all, people were upset. Okay, there was a lot of negative feedback and comments towards this post. And just to give you an example of what the comments were, here's just a couple. So one person said, "Women really be out here thanking fathers for being a father." That's what they said. And then another one is, "Oh my God, a father doing regular father things. So cool. A round of applause." And obviously, they're saying it in a sarcastic way. That's why I use a sarcastic tone reading it, right? And there's a lot more. And, I noticed majority of the comments were coming from women. Well, from what I can tell about their names and whatever, but it was just women really upset about this. And just most of them were just this whole perspective that, why would you show gratitude to a father for being a father? It's his baby. He's supposed to do this. He doesn't deserve thanks or gratitude. It's his job. Like, that's literally what it was, right? Um, so yeah, of course, as a mom of three and I'm married, it caught my attention. And to this, the people in the comments and anyone who has that perspective of, you don't need gratitude for something you're supposed to be doing anyways. It's your baby. Like, people who have that perspective, I would say, just because you are required to do something does not automatically mean that it's easy and that it doesn't deserve gratitude. That's not true. There's a lot of things in life we have to do that's not easy. And being a parent is one of those things, y'all. I have three kids and I know it is not easy taking care of a child, whether it's diaper changes, getting up at 2 a.m. while you're exhausted, but baby's crying. You got to get up, take care of your baby, comfort your baby. Whether it's paying the bills, keeping the lights on, buying diapers, it's not easy taking care of a child or raising a family. It's difficult. So why wouldn't it deserve gratitude, right? Whether it's the man or the woman doing it, it should be met with gratitude and encouragement, right? And second, like I said, taking care of a child is not easy. And in a marriage, in or even just in parenting, it's never 50-50, y'all, ever. It's always going to be fluctuating. Some days one person is doing 80% and one is doing 20%. And then the next day it switches. It's always fluctuating. You can never keep up with it. And that's just how parenting is. That's just what you sign up for when you become a parent. Um, and for that reason, it's okay to show gratitude when one person is maybe doing more. And the reason I keep saying, well, doing more is because I mean, on the in this post, we don't know directly, like we don't know the whole her whole situation, but but let's assume that her husband works full time and he's the breadwinner, right? And she's a stay at home mom. Again, it's just an assumption because I think this a lot of the scenarios are like that, right? So let's say she's a stay at home mom taking care of the babies, and he is working 8 to 12 hours a day, making sure the bills are paid and everybody's taken care of, right? And then he decides that one morning that, hey, you know what? I'm going to get up at 7 a.m. and feed the baby and take care of the baby so my wife can get her sleep because she got a headache, right? If that's the scenario, guess what? He's not just doing 50% now. He's doing 60 or 70% because he's taking on her job, part of her role, right? Um, on top of his regular working and taking care of the bills role, he's taking on that extra role. So now he's doing 60 to 70%. And so yes, he does deserve gratitude. Again, this is an example because that's how it is, right? So yes, give him his flowers for that. Why would people have an issue with that, you know? And also another thing I noticed is when we think of like raising a child or raising a family, we automatically think of diaper changes, late nights with the baby crying, making a bottle, feeding the baby, changing them. We always think of those things, taking care of tantrums. We always think of those things, which also does is required to take care of a child. Yes, it's all part of it, right? But we forget about the financial side. Who's working 8 to 12 hours and making sure the bills are paid, making sure there's enough diapers and wipes for baby, making sure there's food on the table? Who's taking care of the financial sides, side? Usually it's the husband. I'm not saying women don't work too, but sometimes if it's the man doing that, that is part of taking care of a child. Okay. So let's recognize working and paying the bills as taking care of a family, taking care of a child, because sis, yes, changing diapers is part of taking care of your child, but if there's no diapers to change them into, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's necessary. Finances is just as important as taking care of a child. So yes, if husband is working 8 to 12 hours and paying the bills, buying diapers, he is also taking care of the child, just as you are at home taking care of your child. It's the same thing. So yes, give him his flowers and show him some gratitude. Also, I would say women, like when it comes to taking care of a family or taking care of a child, I feel like we women do sometimes feel like we're taking on more of the role, or we're taking most of it. We're taking on most of it than the men do. I don't know why we always feel this way, but we kind of do. And sometimes it's true. Yeah, maybe mom is taking on a lot, especially if she's also working and taking care of baby too. But let's be honest, like women, we are more outwardly, like we outwardly complain when something is bothering us, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. We like to get it off our chest, whether we go on social media and complain or we tell it to our friends, our sisters, our best friends, whatever it is, right? We do share that outwardly because we have that sense of community feeling where we're like, hey, maybe someone can give me advice, or just sharing. I feel good just sharing this, and maybe someone can relate. Like we like to do that. So that's why people assume that, oh, women are always doing it all. She's always doing it all. He's barely doing anything. But then men on the other side, I feel like men don't always outwardly complain. Like maybe some men do, but most men, I feel like, don't see on social media men saying, I'm doing it all. Okay, I'm always doing it. I'm tired. No one recognizes. No one appreciates me. You don't see that from men, because men, I feel like they're internal. They usually internalize everything. Maybe they're sharing it with people who are close to them, who they confide in. But I feel like men don't just go on social media and just share their stress and stuff. They don't do that. But that doesn't mean that just because they don't share outwardly doesn't mean that they're not stressed out too and handling everything. It doesn't mean they're not taking on the roles. We may take their silence as, oh yeah, he's not doing much. He's taking it easy. He's chilling while she's doing it all. Like, no, that's not always the case. So let's look at it from that point too. And another point is, if we don't think that men deserve gratitude or thanks for taking care of their child, then women don't deserve it. It's the same thing. Why are we giving praises and gratitude and thanks to women, to a mother, for taking care of her child? It's her child. She has to do it, right? She's required to take care of her child. Why are we showing her gratitude? Why is she getting flowers? Why? It's the same thing. If he can't get it, she ain't getting it. It's either everyone gets it or no one gets it. Why the double standard? Honestly, why the double standard? So let's think of it from that point of view too. And you know what? If the people in the comments and anyone else out there wants to say, well, if you're required to do something, there shouldn't be any gratitude for it. You have to do it anyways. Then let's apply that same attitude to everything across the board. Okay, that means Mother's Day, Father's Day, out the window. Let's cancel those because we don't need them. You're I'm a mom. I have to do these things. I have to take care of my child. Why does my child have to show me gratitude for it? It's my job, right? Why does my husband or anyone around me have to say Happy Mother's Day? Here's flower. Why? Let's cancel that. Same with Father's Day. Why does anyone need praise for something they're supposed to be doing anyways? Why do I have to give flowers to my mom and say Happy Mother's Day, Mom? Happy Father's Day, Dad, when for taking care of me? I mean, you're supposed to. It's your job. So let's cancel that. If we're going to say people don't need gratitude for things they're supposed to be doing. Same with Valentine's Day. Why does hubby have to get flowers? I'm not saying I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but I'm saying like just in general, why do people have to show their significant other praise and appreciation and bring flowers and dates, whatever, for a relationship on Valentine's Day? You signed up for it. You signed up to be in that marriage. You signed up to be in that relationship. You're supposed to upkeep the relationship anyways. Why do I have to appreciate you for doing something you chose to do and you're supposed to be doing anyways, right? There we go. Apply it to that. Oh, I bet we won't. I bet no one wants to cancel Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or Father's Day. No one's going to cancel that because we want our flowers, right? We want the gratitude because we know it makes a difference. When we receive gratitude, especially for something that we are required to do anyways, it makes a big difference. It goes a long way. It gives us encouragement and motivation and purpose. And it makes us feel like I'm not doing this in vain. It matters. People acknowledge the people I'm doing this for actually acknowledge it. They appreciate it. It means a lot to them. It's not going unnoticed. That's what it means. And I honestly believe that giving gratitude and showing thanks for things that we're supposed to be doing is more powerful and goes a longer way than for something that I chose to do that I don't have to do, like holding the door for somebody and they're like, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, "Okay." It's not as powerful and meaningful as if it's something that I'm already doing. I'm taking care of our kids every day anyways, and someone and my spouse says, "Hey, thank you. I appreciate you. I think you're a great mother for what you do for us." Like, that goes a longer way. That means a lot more. And same with a husband. What's wrong with the wife saying, "Hey, thank you so much for getting up and feeding the baby last night while I was sleeping. I was exhausted. I appreciate you. That means a lot to me." That goes a long way, y'all. And you know what? The secret sauce to any relationship, whether it's a marriage, a friendship, a parent-child relationship, I promise you, gratitude is the secret sauce. Okay, gratitude goes a long way. It strengthens the bond in that relationship. Showing gratitude, it means the person feels seen, they feel acknowledged, they feel appreciated. It goes a long way. Do not let social media or these negative comments trick you out of your relationship. Okay, gratitude is important. So anyway, point of the story is either show gratitude to father and mother, or don't show it to anybody. Nobody gets it. Either everybody gets it or nobody gets it and they can't complain. That's it. But obviously that's not realistic. So let's show gratitude. Give him his flowers, sis, and he should give you your flowers as well. It needs to be equal. So another major point, last but not least, is that your children are watching, they're learning from you. So if you don't show gratitude to your spouse and you have that, "Oh, I do it all, it's all me all the time, no one helps me, why would I give him gratitude?" It's his baby, he's the father, he needs to take care of his kid. If you're having that attitude, I promise you, your kids are going to eat it up. They're going to do the same thing. And to the point where they're going to do that to you. They're going to be like, "Mom, you're supposed to cook for me. You're supposed to take care of me. Why do I got to say thank you?" "Yeah, you're supposed to buy me that toy." "What? I'm not saying thank you. You're my mom. You're supposed to do it." Like literally, that's the energy you're going to get from your kids if you're doing that. Same with fathers too. If you're showing that energy, you get the same energy from your kids and everyone around you. So what's wrong with showing gratitude? But if you're showing gratitude to your spouse, like your kids are going to show you gratitude when you do things that you're supposed to be doing anyways. When you cook their favorite meal, cooking them dinner, they might say, "Mom, thank you for making us dinner. I know you said you had a headache today, but thank you so much for still making us dinner. We appreciate that." Be that example for your kid. Okay, wait, one more point to that. I swear this topic, I could go all day with this topic. But one more point I want to make is what if this was a man saying this, right? What if this post was by a man saying that, thank you to my wife for mowing the lawn today because I had a headache, right? Because I just say mowing the lawn because that's sometimes seen as something that husband usually does. So let's say a man said that. I feel like in the comments, people will be like, yeah, you better show her thanks. You better give her flowers. Give her her flowers. She do it all. Women do it all, right? And it would be so encouraging towards her and encouraging him to continue giving her gratitude. Or some people might even say, women do it all. We already do it all. Why are you making her take this extra step for you? Like, you rarely do anything. And the least you could do is mow the lawn, and you're complaining and you're making her do that too. Or they'll be like, see, this is another example of women doing it all. We're always, doing the most for our family. And yeah, you go, girl, get your flowers. That's how it would just be, right? Let's be honest. That's how it would be. No one would in the comment would dare say, well, it's her job. She lives there too. She should be mowing the lawn. Why are you giving her gratitude or thanks for doing something she's supposed to do? She lives there. No one's gonna say that, right? So why don't we keep it equal? What's up with the double standard? Like, it's just weird, I swear. It's really weird. And don't carry that whole load of it's always me. I'm always doing it by myself. No one helps me. Don't do that. And if you truly feel that way, because I feel like women are usually the ones that express that. I feel like if you truly feel like I'm doing it all, it's not fair, then, don't automatically throw that on your spouse. But, unless, maybe there's some husbands out there that really don't do much at all. Like, I get that. But I feel like that's rare because when you have a child, I feel like whether you're a man or woman, when you have a child, you always do your best to put them first. And sometimes maybe you may not know how to do that, but you do it the way that you know. So as a mother, if you truly feel like you're taking on all the work, it's always you, you're doing it all, and it's not fair, and you feel burnt out, have that conversation with your spouse. It's all about conversation, it's all about communication. Express that. And because they can't read your mind, they're not going to read your mind, I promise you. Okay, as much as that would be easy, but it's not possible. Because what happens is when we don't speak up, when we don't communicate with our spouse about our stress, we end up bottling it up, and then one day we're just blowing up, right? And we're just out here like throwing, and we're just out here like, yeah, I'm not giving him gratitude. Why would he get gratitude? I don't get gratitude. I do it all the time. That's what happens. Then if you want gratitude, it's okay to say, hey babe, I feel unappreciated. Like, I like, let's talk about this. It's okay to have that conversation, okay? But also, if you feel unappreciated, if you feel like you're not getting your flowers, then ask yourself if you're giving your husband his flowers. Ask yourself that, because sometimes you get what you give, right? It goes both ways. Are you giving him his flowers? Are you appreciating? Are you giving him gratitude? If you're not, then why would you expect it from him? Like, it's the same thing. Sometimes we have to lead by example. Same with husbands too. If you're not getting gratitude for what you do for your hard work, ask yourself, are you giving your spouse, your wife, her flowers? And then once you lead in that direction, you'll notice a change. So think about that. That goes a long way, guys. Communication goes a long way. Leading by example goes a long way. But anyway, thank you so much for joining this conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. Until next time.